Good morning. Welcome to Pastor John's Fireside Chat. It is Monday, August 10th. I want to start off by asking you a question. If you knew you had limited time on this earth, what would you do? I ask that because as we're journeying through the Bible in our devotions, we come to the book of Deuteronomy. Moses knows that he is shortly going to meet the Lord face to face. He's not going to be able to go into the promised land because of his rebellion earlier in his ministry. And he knows this is his swan song, so to speak. Last opportunity to encourage and to bless the people that he has led for 40 years through the wilderness. As Moses knows that his time on earth is coming to an end, this is how he chooses to use it. This is what he has to say to the people. I'm not going to read the whole book of Deuteronomy to you, but there's a key part in Deuteronomy chapter 6. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. These commands that I give you today are to be upon your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the doorposts of your houses and on your gates. What Moses wanted to impress upon the Israelites was that God loved them and that God had revealed himself to them. God had revealed his will for his people in what we know as the Ten Commandments, but it was bigger than that. The first 5 books of the Bible, called the Torah or the Pentateuch, was all about God revealing himself, claiming for himself the people of Israel. And they would become the vehicle by which the first promise that God made to Abraham would be fulfilled. That through Abraham, not only would the Israelites be blessed, but all the peoples of the world would be blessed. They would become the vehicle by which the Messiah, Jesus Christ, would come into this world to bless all peoples through his suffering, death, and resurrection. As Moses is about to depart this life, his goal was to point them to the Lord, to remind them of all that God had done and all that God would do. Not because they earned it. In fact, the Bible makes it clear that the Israelites were not chosen because they were the greatest of all the people, but because they were the least of all people. It's all about grace, undeserved love. And Moses wanted to instill that into the children of Israel with his dying breath, so to speak. There is no greater privilege that we have than to share God's word, God's love, God's grace with others. Starting with our families and then with our family of faith and then to the uttermost ends of the world. I pray that you will take seriously the time that God has given you here on earth to do what's really important, and that is to point people to him and ultimately to his Son, Jesus Christ. Have a great day in the Lord.